3, 2, 1. Right here. 4 tires of fuel.
Ride 1.
Outside.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Foreign Field Podcast. We are here for episode 11. And to say we have a lot to talk about today would be a lie and a half. Not much to talk about from Kentucky Speedway. Kevin, how much of the race today were you sleeping?
I watched like the last part of stage 2, then like from that point on I watched whatever. I was out doing DoorDash stuff or whatever, so I thought I was gonna miss a lot, to be honest. Like I thought Kentucky was gonna be kind of a fun race, but from looking at our group chats and everything, I was like, oh, I'm not missing anything. So I just kept staying out. I'm like, I'm not missing anything at all. I was like, all right, I gotta watch the end of the race. So I got home and watched the last part of the race. So
Well, the race was just, you're going to get those fans that will be like, oh, my God, the race was so good. Did you not see the last 5 laps? Are you kidding me? The race is amazing.
I probably had a better race on the highway than the actual race.
We're going to see Jeff Gluck's tweet, was this a good race? And then like 93% of people are going to say yes just because it's the finish.
Well, they're going to say that because of the finish, and also that it was Cole Custer that won. They're like, oh, my God, a new winner. It's not Denny Hamlin or Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick, yep.
Hey, well, you got Cole Custer winning. If it's not the 4 car or the 11 car, you just got to mash them together. It's the 41 car. So
there you go.
That's who's winning.
There you go.
If you don't got a 4 or a 1 in your number,
you ain't winning.
Good luck this season. The Penske guys, except for Blaney. Blaney can win. He's got a 1 in his number.
Hey, shoot.
But I guess we could talk about Cole Custer. Cole Custer kind of went from nowhere to winning. Like this year, Cole Custer was probably the most underachieving rookie of the season.
Yeah, we've been crapping on the whole year. We've been like, oh, Christopher Bell's going to get his first win, or like, he'll be the first one to get a win. Mm-hmm. And then we were just crapping on Custer, and then Custer's like, all right, well, fine. I'm going to prove these guys wrong. He must have been listening to our podcast. He probably heard us.
Gets 1 top 5 at Indianapolis, and he's like, oh, this is how you're supposed to do the Cup Series races. Yeah.
Cole Custer showing up at the tracks where you can't pass. That's where he's showing up.
Hey,
this is a rough stretch for exciting racing.
Hey, Custer's a boring man. He wins the boring track.
Well, we had Indianapolis and Kentucky. Now we have Texas and then New Hampshire.
Hey, don't forget about Pocono. Come on.
Okay.
2 Pocono races.
2 Pocono races.
Pocono races. Jesus. Oh, my God.
We haven't had an exciting race since – well, I guess you could say Talladega, but you always got to expect the Talladega exciting.
I feel like that shouldn't even count. I feel like that's like a given.
Yeah. Kyle Busch would say, it's not a real racetrack, so it can't be exciting.
Yeah. It's a good thing we've got Bristol coming up on Wednesday night because, with no points on the line, that race is going to be insane.
Then you got the Open, which guys are just trying to get into the All-Star race.
And we've seen the Open just as Charlotte be insane.
Yeah. Look at last year when who's getting together? Bubba Wallace and Suarez and
Hey man, they want that $1 million. They're gonna fight the Open race to get in the All-Star race to get that $1 million.
But that's gonna be a fun race. And who's not gonna be in that Open anymore? Cole Custer out of nowhere. Cole Custer.
Cole Custer.
we were making fun of him for his run at Martinsville and how he was like trying to take Jimmy Johnson and Bubba Wallace 3 wide, like being like 3 laps down. And now all of a sudden he gets a top 5 at Indy, don't know where he came from, and was just on the top 5. Same deal today. I don't know where Cole Custer came from, but he won. Is he the new Kevin Harvick? Is he Mr. Where did he come from now? Like, that's where you got to look at it.
Cole Custer, the closer.
The real question, is he Dale Earnhardt? I think that's the question you just got to ask here. Is he Intimidator?
Mike Joy seemed to rebrand Mr. Excitement for Ricky Stenhouse. He took it from Jimmy Spencer, which isn't right because Jimmy Spencer will always be Mr. Excitement, and gave it to Ricky Stenhouse. Now you've got Cole Custer. Is it time to Is it time to move on from Harvick? Give these titles to Cole Custer.
Cole Custard.
We just need to put it out on Twitter to the listeners. Just be like, is Cole Custer the new Intimidator?
Cole Custer just out of nowhere. And then you're going to have fans that are going to be like, well, Cole Custer didn't social distance after his win. He didn't have a mask on when he got out of his car and was, high-fiving and jumping.
Failed post-race inspection. Failed post-race inspection.
Yeah, lack of mask.
No, I think the finish was exciting, but you can't say that. Yeah, the race overall is just not good. The finish was very exciting. I mean, 4 wide, coming to the white flag for the win. At any track, that's exciting. But when there's no passing all day, and then probably Steve O'Donnell's gonna go out on Twitter and say, "Oh man, that was a really great race out there." That's what the fans want to see. Like, no.
I mean, the fans will see a good finish, but also want to see passing. They don't want to see just this stupid, boring stalemate.
Like Eric Almirola, who had the best car in the first half of the race, fell back to 10th and just was deadlocked there. Couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, he couldn't pass, couldn't move.
And then you've got people like, I don't even know who, but they get up towards the front end. Like Kevin Harvick was dropping like a rock the whole day. Then he gets up, gets that strategy move where he stays out and he catches that caution.
Yeah.
And then he somehow just is able to just, take him 3 wide in turn 1 on the restart and get the lead.
Yeah.
And
and Chase Elliott was up. He was second for a while behind Almirola, and then just consistently through the day would be, losing spots on pit road, would fall back, and he was like 9th and 12th and 15th, and ended up 23rd. It was just ridiculous. We even saw with Almirola towards the end of stage 2. Once he got passed by Blaney, and then he just started falling like a rock because that clean air is so important. And when your car just relies on clean air more than anything than actually good handling, that's not good racing. That's just follow the leader at that point.
Exactly, yeah. It's just – you can go and go down.
So, one guy who didn't have a good car in clean air, dirty air, just – any air today. I think he wishes the season would just, the air would take over the season. Is Kyle Busch.
Oh, man.
Kyle Busch, what a rough day for him. Almost wrecked it. Finishes 23rd, I think. 21st.
Yep.
And still ahead of Eric Jones somehow. And, Eric Jones' luck. But Kyle Busch, he has a lot of top 5s. But the frustration seems to be building in that 18 team.
Yeah, I don't know what's been up with Kyle Busch. Honestly, he was probably one of my favorites to be in the top 4 at the end of this season. But, I mean, he has had some good races, but this isn't the Kyle Busch that, we've seen before in the past. This looks like young Kyle Busch. This does not look like the Kyle Busch that we've seen for the past decade or so. So it's definitely tough going for the 18 team. I don't know when they're going to turn this thing around, if they can turn it around. And today definitely didn't help their hopes at all. But hopefully that 18 can, kind of find something within themselves and try to turn this season around for them.
The other thing you got to look out for is, when it comes to playoff time, look back at 2011 with Tony Stewart throughout the regular season was just nowhere to be found, and then goes off and wins 5 of the 10 chase races and wins a championship. So I think it's definitely odd. It's an odd feeling for Kyle Busch and the 18 team. They're so used to winning that them not winning or even winning stages at that point is just. I think it's still too early to hit the panic button, but it's definitely got to be a concern. I think no matter what, we've seen it with Jimmy Johnson too, just kind of be average through the regular season, and then when it comes to the playoff time, just rip off win after win after win, and finally win the championship. So, but it's going to be hard with no playoff points for sure.
Yeah, 9 races to go till we get to the playoffs, and he's got 0 playoff points. I mean, that is just unheard of for Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is somebody that you go into the playoffs and he's just set. He's got like 40 playoff points. He has a bad race to spare, and you go into that first race at Darlington and you get into the wall or something to finish 25th. Kyle Busch is in danger of being eliminated in the first round of the playoffs, and that would be a complete shocker for a guy who has made the championship for every year except for the first year of this playoff format. That would just be unbelievable. Kyle Busch, can you even imagine Kyle Busch not in the championship four?
I realistically I could imagine it, because there were a couple of years where before the current format we had now, he would just had a string of bad finishes, like when he had no luck at Kansas and then would wreck at Talladega and he would just be out of it. So under this format, though, it's hard to imagine Kyle Busch not being in the Final Four, but I think it's not too far to disbelieve, him not having a shot at the championship.
Yeah, if I were to see him not in the top 4, I would definitely would not expect it to be like this. I would expect him, to kind of to barely miss the top 4. Have some bad luck down the stretch. Not something like this where it's just kind of like a consistently just kind of mediocre season for him.
Yeah.
If you're gonna miss top 4, I would expect trying to race hard for a win at the end, and then he just gets wrecked or something like that. Not something like this where it's just kind of like, what's going on? This is really really strange to see from the 18 team. But maybe, like how Steve said, maybe we'll pull a Tony Stewart and pull something out of his butt here.
Yeah.
and like, all right, it's playoff time, go time. Because maybe that's what they need. Maybe they just need that type of I guess like pressure and adrenaline. Like, all right, it's go time now. Like this is actually do or die. Like if we don't do good here, it's over. Like maybe they just need that type of drive and that type of conditions to really push themselves to try to be the best that they can be.
Yeah, I do think like Kevin was saying, of him being very close to getting eliminated, and that's kind of what you would expect if he's not going to make the championship 4, where it comes down to like a tiebreaker and somebody finishes, has a finish 1 spot better than him in that round, and that's how the tiebreaker is decided. I think that's what we would be used to seeing or expect if Kyle Busch is going to get eliminated. That's how it's going to get done, not just flat out not have any playoff points, go into the round of 16 with just 2,000 points, and here, these guys with, 50, 60 playoff points like Harvick's going to end up with. So I don't know. I just have a gut feeling, though, there's just not time to panic for them.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I think they've got a few more weeks, a couple good tracks for them coming up. They've got to start, executing, because they have no momentum. They need to build some momentum, get a couple stage wins under the belt, maybe a win or two, and I think they'll be fine. They can't go into the playoffs with no playoff points. That's when you really get concerned if you go into that, because then you have no buffer. You have one bad race that could end your season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, if you had to pick a championship 4 right now, who would it be?
Well, I'd definitely lock in Harvick and Hamlin first. I would put in Ryan Blaney with the number of 1.5 miles that are in the playoffs now. Not as many as there used to be, but I would put in Ryan Blaney with how consistent he's been. And then for my 4th guy, man, it's tough. If you were asking me a couple weeks ago, I'd say Chase Elliott, but now that train is completely, fallen off the tracks. So I'd probably go with, somebody who's just going to get, like a string of 7th, 8th place finishes and just point their way. Probably somebody like Logano is just going to try to just point their way into it. So, yeah, I'd probably go Harvick, Hamlin for sure as locks. I'd go Blaney as an almost lock, and then you get that one guy that just kind of points his way, and I'd put that as Logano right now.
Yeah, Kevin?
Yeah, honestly, Steve kind of hit it on the head of the nail right there. That was going to be kind of my top four too. You know, Harvick, Hamlin as the locks, probably Ryan Blaney as well. He's been really strong this season. I think he has a legit chance to make some noise here in the playoffs. That four spot, it could be Logano. Shoot, with the way that Eric Almirola's been, maybe he just just consistently just finishing inside the top 10, top 5, and he kind of just sneaks his way into the top 4, just silently just kind of doing work, just doing his thing over there, just driving good, kind of staying out of trouble. Maybe Chase Elliott, if they can get if the 9 team kind of get that bus rolling again. But I think you definitely have a for sure lock 2 with Hamlin and Harvick, probably Ryan Blaney as well. But we'll have to see. Obviously, with 9 races to go before the playoffs in general, anything could just blow up. So
yeah,
I think just a super dark horse pick and something that I would love to see is Matt DiBenedetto. Or Cole Custard wins 1 race. All right, he's going to the championship 4. Cole Custard's the champion. No, one thing that I'd love to see is Matt DiBenedetto make it. The way that 21 team has been performing these last couple weeks at tracks like Pocono, Indianapolis, today in Kentucky, he's doing a lot better than I expected he would. And it's a great thing to see. I think it's great for the sport to see the Wood brothers running well again. And like he was saying in his interview today, that with like 7 to go, he was trapped way back in like 18th and then came back and finished 3rd today. So I would expect him, if he can make the playoffs, that I expect him and the Wood brothers team to make some noise in the playoffs, and it'd be really cool to see them make the championship 4.
Now, there's one guy that I can't believe you guys didn't bring up. I mean, Martin Truex Jr. Like, I can't believe that wasn't even a thought on your guys' head. Martin Truex Jr.
Let him get past Talladega first and see where he's at points after that, because that's like his Achilles heel in the playoffs is just getting through Talladega.
Well, I mean, they'll figure it out. They'll have enough playoff points by then. I think he's not done winning in a regular season. Truex honestly should have won today. He had the best car. If it wasn't for all those restarts at the end, Truex would have won. Even if it wasn't for that last caution that brought out that crazy finish, Truex was going to get by Harvick. I think he had the car. He was going to mow. He was ready to mow right by him. Truex is going to be in the championship 4, along with Hamlin, Harvick, and Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott's got to he's got to get over the hump at some point. He can't just keep making the round of 8 and then falling apart. So this year he's finally going to do it. He's going to get into the championship 4. And he runs so well at the 1.5 miles, runs so well almost everywhere now. And he's the lead dog at Hendrick. It's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had a Hendrick car in the championship 4 since Johnson in 2016 when he won the championship.
Yeah.
And so what? We've only had Hendrick make it twice?
Yeah,
Gordon in 15 and Johnson in 16. That's insane. Hendrick Motorsports has made the championship 4 with 2 guys. Like, that's it. And they made it once each.
Yeah. Now you got to think that back in 2015 at that Talladega race where, Junior was like this far away from winning, and then he went on to win that rain-shortened race in Phoenix. We could be looking at Dale Jr. in the championship 4 back in 2015.
Gordon. I think the 4th guy there was Kyle Busch. It might have been Kyle Busch was the 4th guy going in. I think, Gordon won at Martinsville.
Yeah.
Junior would have won, and that Texas race was Harvick, I believe.
15.
Harvick?
I can't remember.
It's crazy to think I was 5.
Because Harvick made the championship 4 that year.
Yeah. That was 5 years. That was 5 years ago. I can't.
Or it might have been Truex that might have been out. Truex might have been the 4th guy. So instead of Truex Jr., would have had Dale Jr.
Oh boy.
That's crazy.
Either way, Kyle Busch wins the championship. Either way, it doesn't matter if you put Dale Jr. in there. But I think that'll be the championship 4. Someone brought up a great point. We brought it up last week how at one point in Indy, 1, 2, 3 was Harvick, Hamlin, Chase Elliott, and somebody tweeted at that point was you're looking at 3 of the top 4. You're looking at 3 of your championship 4, 1, 2, 3 right now at Indy. So I don't know. We got a long way to go. We still have more than half the season to figure out who that championship four is going to be. We'll break that down more once we get everybody back. Wes is still on vacation. I'll actually be seeing Wes on Wednesday at Bristol. Finally get to see a race in person, the All-Star race. And speaking of the All-Star race, we got to make our picks.
Let's go.
I get to go first because I'm a loser, and Eric Jones, I screwed Eric Jones this week. So for the All-Star race, I think a Penske driver is going to win. I think it's going to be a guy who needs vengeance. That guy continues to race Chase Elliott really aggressively. That guy's going to be Joey Logano. Joey Logano is going to win the All-Star race. Joey Logano.
Oh, my God.
Man, how crazy would it be if Joey Logano is behind Chase Elliott at the end of the All-Star race?
No.
Oh, my God.
Man,
there's not any points on the line. You just got $1 million bucks in the line. He's like, "Oh, I'm going for that. I'm going for that $1 million bucks."
I would delete my life at that point.
Yeah, man. Yeah, having that $1 million bucks sitting between, and you give the 9 car sitting between you and $1 million bucks. Shoot, then the 9 car might be going in the wall.
We may be here in Bristol with the booze. Just like they gave him the Dale Earnhardt out there. He spun Texas Terry Labonte.
Hey, wait, whoa. I thought Cole Custer was the intimidator. Now Joey Logano's the intimidator?
Hey, he might be.
We'll see. Throwing water bottles, man. It's pretty intimidating, man.
Oh, let's see. I guess I'm up next for the picks. Man, I don't know. Cole Custer's on a roll right now, so part of me wants to lean towards Custer.
Well, I can't believe you didn't pick him last week.
I know. I should have known. He was like second on my list, but Hamlin decided not to show up today. Let's see. All-Star race, Bristol. And Dom went with Logano. You know what? I'm going to go with the guy that he's probably going to punt out of the way. I'm going to go Chase Elliott. He almost won in the spring race there and just got loose on the bottom and cleaned him and Logano out. So, I'll go the other end. I think Chase is going to be behind Logano and punt him out of the way for $1 million bucks. So I'm going Chase Elliott for Wednesday night.
Now, if Chase Elliott punts Logano again out of the way and doesn't let me get a pick, win, I'm going to have to continue my drive up to Minnesota and give you the bump.
Hey, that's it. Hey, man, it's just short track racing.
Sure, the last time Logano put someone in the wall, it was Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch came through at our club and won that. So you know what? You guys are gonna pick Elliott and Logano. I'm going with Kyle Busch. I mean, he'll be in third, and we'll hear more of that later. Man, it's Kyle Busch, and then. Kyle Busch will scoot in there and get the dub and get the $1 million bucks and hopefully get his season turned around. I'm not really a Kyle Busch fan. I mean, I kind of am. I like his personality. I like the way he kind of goes about NASCAR and stuff because with how many boring guys we got like Bowman just woo NASCAR.
Woo NASCAR.
We need some people like Kyle Busch who's not afraid to to complain when he complains and put people in the wall and all that stuff. So. I'm going KB 18, baby.
So last week, Kurt. This week, Kyle. Next week, you're going Brexton. I think that's all we got for today. Unless Steve's got something. I see Steve he wants to say something.
No, I was just trying to think. Well, first of all, I'm trying to keep my cat away from the computer.
And the cat picked Jeff Gordon
That's right. The cat's going with Jeff Gordon.
Gordon come from the booth and getting
That's right. No, I don't think I got anything. It's gonna be exciting. It's. Mm-hmm. I think I'm really excited to see the choose cone come into effect.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
The choose cone and then the underglow. I don't know. It's going to be weird because it's only the cars that are locked into the All-Star race.
So then you're going to have 4 guys. You're going to have 4 guys out there that are dull.
Yeah. Hey, Cole Custer's one of them now. So
Cole Custer's going to make it. Cole Custer.
Yeah.
They got to put the lights on there. They weren't even ready for it.
That's right. So
that choose cone thing, though. That choose cone should be a good thing to kind of see, though. I think if there's any track to really test it at, it's probably Bristol. That's one of the main track where your line really matters and what you have on the restart. So I think, this is good that, they're doing the choose cone rule at a track like Bristol. So hopefully it works out well. I'll be actually very intrigued to kind of watch how that plays out throughout the night. So
and the car number is back by the rear tire.
yeah,
No,
I personally like the look. I don't mind it. I mean, I kind of like this. I kind of like the change. Would I like it long term? I don't know. I probably have to see these things actually in person because the pictures look good, but I have to see this thing like on TV and kind of see how it plays out throughout the night. But I kind of like the change.
Yeah, I think like it's different. I'm traditional. I'm so used to seeing the car numbers on the door where they belong, just because it's been like that forever. So I think at a place like the All-Star Race, it's the perfect time to try new things out.
Exactly.
Like we've seen them in the past with the aero packages, and I think eventually we're gonna see the number move back because they've already tried to push it with the NASCAR Heat Leagues, and now at the All-Star Race, and we've seen it on the K&N cars. So I think eventually they're just going to move the number back, whether it's behind the door or back to the quarter panel or something. I personally don't like it, but then again, I'm traditional. I do think it'll be cool to see the choose cone, and like Kevin said, it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to play into effect. And if they implemented it at a place like, obviously Martinsville, everyone's going to like choose the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be something. But if you moved it to a bigger track like Auto Club or something, where the line is so dependent, and so I don't know. I'm excited to see how it's going to work out. And no better place to try it than Bristol. I'm really excited that they moved the All-Star Race to Bristol. And I know the cat's excited too. But no, we saw a great package.
Oh man.
But we saw great racing there in the spring at Bristol, and I think we're going to see even better racing under the lights Wednesday night. No points on the line, just going for $1 million.
Yeah, I'll be there. Hopefully, it's a good one. I might.
Facebook Live it.
Hey, I might have to make a vlog.
Vlog, yeah.
I have to make a vlog. I mean, I'll see Wes there. We'll be sitting together, so we'll have to see what we can do with that. But other than that,
the cat saying it's time to go.
Yeah,
Cat's saying it's time to go.
We'll have
another quick episode at the end of the week, making our picks for Texas and going over the All-Star race a little bit. So we'll be back later this week, and we will see you, before Texas. See y'all then.